Hi, welcome back to another video. So today we're doing a classic sketchbook session. I have a bunch of like really random art supplies here, which is just like everything that I already had on my desk. So we have like these Prismacolor erasables, a mechanical pencil, Tombow markers, colored pencils, and acrylic markers. So we're just gonna push them to the side. I don't know if we're gonna use all of them, but they are all there. And I also have collage papers like this, which is just like leftover paint from any projects I'm doing that I just like put on sheets for collage so that it doesn't just like dry and go to waste. So I have like a whole bunch of those also, so we could collage. Yeah, it's been a while. So this is what my sketchbook looks now on the outside. And if you're gonna say it looks different, it probably does, because I apparently have no self-control and I just keep on adding stuff to it. But I think it's finally done. This is the front and this is the back. If you want lore about some of my choices, I have videos decorating them. Oh, okay, I did this last night. I actually screen printed, I think like last November for like one of my classes. These are some of the testers I did on construction paper. Yeah, I just found them in my drawer and I was like, I might as well use them instead of just letting them go to waste. Okay, I think we're gonna work here because I've been kind of working on and off in some of the other pages in between. I'm not really going as page by page as I usually would. And I recently found out that I can do this. There's that elastic that usually goes on the outside. And look at that. And it like weighs it down. Isn't that amazing? I mean, now this side is going to be a bit floppy because we're kind of reaching close to the middle of this sketchbook. We still have a lot to go. I haven't really been very active in the sketchbook just because school has been so overwhelming. And like, sadly, this is a me thing. YouTube's a me thing. So that means that it's not like a priority. Which is sad, but whatever, we cope. I have this like zine that I've been making recently, and I kind of made these really abstract, or I started to draw these like kind of abstracted animals in a way that like makes me, I don't know, I'm like very curious about this way of drawing them because I've never really done that before. So I think that's what I'm doing here. I don't know if this is going to be a cat or a squirrel. Those seem like two very different things, but they're not. You need to reassess. But yeah, no, this has been the worst final season for me, and I think like, okay, you can like laugh and whatever. If you watch a lot of these vlogs, then I don't even know if this is classified as a vlog, but like whatever. Put that in like brackets. I feel like I speak in brackets a lot, but I don't know if this is technically classified as a vlog. But if you watch a lot of these types of videos, then you would know that I come back a lot after final season. I'm like, wow, guys, that was so bad. That was the worst final season for me. But no, school outdoes itself with the amount of stress that it causes me. And I don't want to say that like I'm not having fun, but like, it's just like the school structure is really stressful. And I also chose a lot of classes that had a lot of work and I knew had a lot of work, and I was like, whatever, I can do this, it's fine. And it's like, no, I could not do this and I was not fun. Like, third year is really cool because we have a lot of specialized classes, but you know, they're also like a hell of a lot of work. And I did all studio classes because I had an extra like lecture credit and whatever. So I didn't really have like a padding class either. But the classes I took were so much fun. They were just also so much work and I like died. So I had like these two concept art classes. I had a concept art settings class and I had a concept art characters class. And both of them were so cool because they were taught by actual people who have experience, like who have worked or are working in like the concept art field. And it's an actual class where you can actually take your stuff and put it into a portfolio. So it's like very practical in that way. So it was really cool to kind of just see what the expectation would sort of be and like see what the workflow would be, because it's kind of given like sort of like a work pitch, like a work project, but you're doing it at school. So those were really cool. They were so much work. There was so much work, but I had so much fun. And I think it exposed me also to like a different type of work than what I usually do, because I usually just do like mixed media illustration. It's like what I'm comfortable with, and I make physical pieces and I bring them in and it's great. But with this, I kind of had to do digital stuff, which I have also been doing a lot more of and have been getting more comfortable with. But I kind of had to learn how to shift what I usually do to fit you know, the new deadlines and the new workflow. But overall, it was really cool. It was just also a lot of work. But yeah, I've been working on a lot of really exciting stuff that I'm very excited to show you guys. Oh, I painted a second mural, which is on my Instagram right now. It was a collab with my friend, and it was so much fun. I was really happy that like we got it. It's in a stairwell that like I didn't even know existed, which is really funny because it's my 3rd year there. But literally anyone in illustration who I showed was like, yeah, I did not know that was there, because we're like 6th floor people, but that stairwell is only between the 5th and the 6th floor. But like usually as an illustration major, you don't have classes on the 5th floor of like the main building, so it's kind of like, why would we use that stairwell? But it was cool because it's like a high traffic area for other people, I guess, just like not illustration majors. And I think it was really funny to me because it was in the 5th floor staircase. I don't know where we could have gotten a ladder from. I don't know, but we ended up like lugging chairs from one of the nearby like lecture classes and basically just bringing it into the stairwell to stand on, basically, to paint. And like it has like, because it's one of those lecture seats that has the fold over like arm thing, so when you fold up the arm it has like the warning thing, and it's like, do not stand on this chair, and it's like, I got it as I stand on the chair. But I want to see the security footage so bad of me dragging that chair like 3 minutes over. I want to see it. It must be so funny. And also, oh yeah, because there's no like sinks and whatever, because we're on the 5th floor, not the 6th floor, we had to like go all the way to the bathroom anytime to like refill cups and like wash brushes and stuff, so that part was also kind of like funny. But overall it's really cool. I've been doing a lot more like collaborative stuff this year, so it's really cool. I don't know, I think I've learned a lot from like working with other people and like understanding how your styles sort of combine. I think 3rd year was really interesting because 2nd year it was, I think, discovering what I was like the most interested in and like trying to like resolve my style from what I learned in 1st year. But then 3rd year I had like a good idea of what I wanted, and I kind of just full on went for it, and I think that was the vibe of this year, and it was really good. And you know, the specialized classes, like even that zine class that I took in 1st semester, it all helped so much because, you know, I also did my first market in September, and then I did another one in April. This one was the official one for like the school that I go to. It's like, it's only for like current OCAT students or like alumni. So it's really cool, and the table fee is free, so like they just like let you in, and it's so amazing. It was so well organized, and it was at like the school, so like familiar space, so it was really easy to just like, in terms of like transportation and like ease of mind, like I could show up and just like know where I need to go and what I need to do. But it was like my best event, and I was like so surprised that so many people showed up. Like that event has like a really good reputation, but I was just like so shocked, and like my heart was so full afterwards. I was just like, I don't know, I was just blown away. I think having like an in-person event is always so like fulfilling, because you talk to all of the people who are then gonna be, I don't know, you talk to all the people who are like showing up to an art event, so people who really care about art. And I think this is like slowly becoming dry, but I will finish using this. But like, it's just, I don't know, it's just so, it's so heartwarming. But yeah, I have my, I was gonna say second, but it's been way past my second market. I have another market in May. Oh, I hit the camera at some point. Oopsies. But I have another market in May, so hopefully it's cool. The vendor list looks like really well curated, so I'm very excited to see how the turnout is, because it is like a first time event, but like it's people who are like already very well established in the space, and they got like a lot of applicants and whatever, but we'll see how turnout actually is. But I have high hopes. The urge to like just do a red eye is like I think I'm gonna color this yellow too, because I kind of like how the red looks with the yellow underneath. I know that there's blue showing under. I maybe should have done it with the red instead of the blue, but whatever. I'm just a girl. Also, I'm sorry if it's like a bit dark. It's like raining. I feel like anytime I go to like film like just disaster strikes. I was kind of scared, like it's like a bit cold. And we had snow like in early April, which like thinking back to like the past couple years, we haven't had snow in April. So I was like kind of scared it was just gonna start snowing again. And I was like, wow, so we are all actually gonna die. At least it's not snowing. Like I like snow, but like in April it's scary. I remember like early April classes, and we have them like on the 6th floor, so you can just look out the window and like there's nothing outside, and then you look out the window again and it's like absolute like blizzard out of nowhere. This is kind of giving those like medieval cats, like, you know, in medieval art they just like don't know what cats look like, so they give them like human faces. Not like this has a human face, but it's kind of like the same level of uncanny for me. There's like this bug that's like clinging for dear life on the outside of this window beside me, and I know that if Cheerio were here, she would have went feral. She kind of like flings herself at the glass windows whenever there's like a bug or like a bird or something. So I don't know, she's like a gremlin like that. We drove like the whole story of her, I don't know, she's such a goblin, but like we drove I think 4 hours to pick her up from like a family friend who knew people who had a cat that had babies. I don't really know what the relation is, but like we just like got her for free, but we had to drive 4 hours, so like I don't know if that's really free anymore. But yeah, she recently turned 3, and I kind of can't believe it. I don't really know where the time went. Remember we got her right before I went to uni, so yeah, it's been a while. Oh yeah, but like Cheerios, like the cereal brand, for some reason they have like a limited edition, like, not that I'm like seeking this out and buying it, this isn't part of the story, but like they have a limited edition, like edition, they have a limited edition with an E and then edition with an A, where like the cereal isn't like circular, it's like hearts. And this is important for like a couple different reasons. I don't eat cereal like in replacement of like an actual meal. It's just kind of like an occasional craving that usually happens extremely late at night. It was kind of like one of those like late night whatevers, and I usually like, I start to feel sleepy around 11. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I'm a morning person. If I sleep around 11 and wake up at like 8 or 9, I feel so good about myself and about life. And like that's just like, that's what I did today. Like that's just like how I like to live, actually. But whatever, every now and then I'm kind of like up kind of later, or like I sleep in or whatever. I don't know, like the occasional like hiccup in my circadian rhythm Is that just like a word that they use for like roosters and how they wake up, or is that a word that they also use for humans? I don't know. But I do the, yeah, I'm just gonna use it here and I'm just gonna leave it there. So it was like maybe I think 1 in the morning, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of craving cereal, and we had Cheerios, and I love Cheerios, my cat, and also the cereal. So I was like, whatever. And I didn't really bother turning on the light, so I kind of just like poured them out, and then through like the oven light I was like, huh, this one kind of looks kind of weird, and I kind of just assumed that it was like a Cheerio that got slightly smushed, because it is just like a circle that like hit its head, you know, like that's sort of just like what a heart is. So that's like what I thought, just deciphering it from the oven light. But then I also had regular circles in it, so that's kind of why I was even more confused, because it's like you couldn't have even just made a fully heart box. It's hearts, and also there's still circles, so like I don't know. I also eat cereal in a cup, but that's like a separate thing. Like a really big mug over a bowl. Debate. Fight. I think I want to do like a dark eye here. Kind of freakishly big eyeball, but I kind of like freakishly love it. This marker is so dry. It's like, please throw me out. That's like me with any of like my old Tombow markers. They're like kind of just screaming that I, you know, am merciful enough to give them up. And I'm like, no, no, no. Okay, I'm kind of thinking of doing like a dark background to cut some of the white out. I'm not sure if there's anything else I want to do. I also want to fix, there's like the blue lines in here, and I don't really know what I want to do for that. I could... I'm just kind of trying stuff out. I could just scribble over it. That's like a valuable, that's a reasonable thing to do. Okay, I think this green is the way to go. I'm kind of thinking of doing the background in, or wait, I'm having like too many thoughts at once, which is the opposite of having no thoughts. I don't know why I mentioned that, but that's not really creative insight, but that's what you're here for. I'm kind of thinking if I bring out the pastels and I do the background like a really solid like navy. Do you guys want to see what happened to what happened to the other pastel page that I did? This is it. This is what it looks like now, just from like me carrying my sketchbook places. It's also just like the frailness of the page from like, I just used hairspray on it because I don't know, I don't own a setting spray and I don't know what I'm doing, and the internet said hairspray worked, but I don't know. I don't know if it would be worse if I didn't use hairspray, but I don't know. I'm okay with this because it's just in my sketchbook, but I'm just saying, like, do I want something that's gonna last longer, or do I just want to use pastels? I don't know. I think in my last sketchbook, I kind of got away with it. I'm like yawning, sorry. I kind of got away with it because I'm like kind of tired, which is like not good because it's like 11 in the morning. But like it's kind of dark outside because it's raining. And I think when it's dark, my body's like, okay, time to sleep. Which is like, you can tell that I'm a mess during the winter when they switch times and it gets dark at like 4 p.m. and my body's like, okay, well, go to bed. It's like, I can't sleep. It's 5. There's like cat hair stuck in here. I found a cat hair stuck here, right here, like underneath this sticker, and I just noticed, but there's like a whole, oh my god, yeah, so it's just been there since I decorated and I never even noticed. So you really just like get a cat and they like infest your life, and I love it. I'm like the best at putting things down and not knowing where I put them. Like I was holding it 2 seconds ago and now it's gone. And did it ever really exist? Okay. Oh, but yeah, the poll thought from the beginning of the video. I didn't expect people to like fully vote for a sketchbook session, which is like kind of why I asked, but I am also planning to do all the other video ideas, hopefully. The zine one, I kind of realized it would be best to wait. I have a zine right now that's like printing and it's not done yet, but I think when I get that, it'll be a part of that for sure. And then I also need to bind zines so that there's actual zines to show you guys, because I kind of just like sold out of everything. So that's also stuff to do. I have like 4 different to-do lists. I have like a to-do list that's like actual real stuff, like external deadlines that are not in my control, and I have a to-do list that's like deadlines that I would like to reach for me, and then there's a to-do list that's like market stuff that I would like to get done by a specific day, and then there's a separate one that's like personal stuff that I would like to get done at a certain date. And I don't know if that's more stressful or not. I'm kind of testing it out, because before I would kind of just have like a bulk list for everything, but it's too overwhelming and I don't understand. It doesn't really show what priority everything, you know, what priority level everything is on. So it's just kind of like a clump of overwhelming stuff, even though some of it is like things that I would like to do and things that I do not have to do. These are very chicken legs, and I'm kind of obsessed with them. I don't think we're gonna end up collaging. I think maybe I'm gonna do some abstract shapes in the background and then cut and block everything off. I've also been like really into digital editing, like kind of taking my work and making like 3,000 different color variations of it for like no reason, and I don't post it anywhere, but I've just like been enjoying doing that. So maybe for this I'll put it into Photoshop and I'll do a couple different colorways, and then for my Instagram posts I'll have like 7,000 of them lined up, and it'll be so funny. Or it won't be funny, it'll just look like a thing. Not everything needs to be funny, but I do like to think I'm funny. It's so funny to me to think that there was a time when I kind of made fun of abstract art, and like now that's sort of what I do. Because I feel like illustration, there's a lot of ways to bend the rules based on the art you make. So, and like the purpose that it serves. So what I personally like to do in my practice is I like to sort of play with like abstract and representational elements and sort of see how much of each I like, and I don't know, just kind of playing with different ratios of each, because I think that's definitely where my interest lies. My interest lies in like shape and color for sure. I've been really into like these sort of spiral shapes recently. I think circles tend to pop up a lot on my art, which is interesting. Like if you just go back and kind of look and observe. Look and observe is the same thing, but I said both of them and I meant both of them. But if you just go back, you can kind of see, you like the shape language develop. And I don't know what my interest in circles is exactly. But I love them. I'm trying to think of if I want to do yellow also, or I could just do a simple red sort of outline and then cut everything out. I'm really hoping this summer I can go back to Libya and breathe the air there. I feel like every time I go back, I kind of just like, I don't know, the Mediterranean Sea, just like standing by and like smelling the Mediterranean is so healing. And I don't know how, but when it gets hot there, it's not like when it gets hot here. For perspective, I like, now I live in Canada, but like, and I was born here, but like I kind of lived in both places. But I feel like when it gets hot there, it doesn't get hot the same way it does here. When it gets hot there, it feels different and it feels manageable, even though it is like the Sahara and like you can see, you know, when you can see like heat waves and it kind of looks like the cars are melting in front of you, like that's sort of what it is. But maybe it's just because it's on the sea. I don't know anything about how weather works. Do I want to be absolutely insane and color all of this background with a colored pencil? Not really. Not really. I have a blue Tombow marker somewhere across the rainbow. I feel like my brain never fully gets quiet. It just starts playing Mario Kart from like, you know, the DS version. Oh, I found it. I have an acrylic marker too. Should I just use that? Because I feel like it's gonna run out on me. Okay guys, I just had to reactivate it. All my supplies, don't hate me. This is like kind of how long it's been for my sketchbook that like, I feel like everything's dry and I don't even know what works anymore. I don't usually use these types of materials like in my own regular art. I kind of just, like acrylic markers are really nice because I don't need to pull out like, when you have acrylic paint in tubes, it's like acrylic paint and then a paintbrush and then a paint cup and then a paint, something to pour the paint on, and then you need to clean everything up, and it's like, I know I'm just being like a diva and that's like a really dramatic response, but if you're just casually in your sketchbook, I don't know, it like, this just makes it so easy. It kind of takes away the reasons where you might be like, yeah, but, and it's like, no, but this is so easy that you kind of just, you know. But yeah, on the poll, I think I had another video that was like drawing every day for a week, and I think that that would be fun and good for me. I did a 10, I can't, okay, anytime I want to say this thing, I always say 10-week sketchbook and not 10-day sketchbook. And I remember when I originally posted the post where I was like 10-day sketchbook, I said 10-week sketchbook, and that immediately sounds 100% less impressive. So yeah, 10-day sketchbook, and that was good but like crazy. That was good but crazy. And I have, I think, a lot of stuff that I would rather be doing than that. I think it was a fun exercise, but like I don't know. But I don't wanna do that. So I think for this it would just be like drawing every day for a week with like no pressure. Because I want to work in the sketchbook and not be stressed out with everything else that I need to do. Okay, and now we're at the end of the video. Here's the final product. I have marker on my hands. I went in with the blue and then I got really quiet and the footage was kind of repetitive, so I went in with the black because it wasn't as dark as I wanted it to be, and I didn't want to put the oil pastels. So this is what happened. And I kind of just cut out these shapes. These are kind of giving skeleton vibes. I was really trying not to tack on vibes to the end of that, but it happened. But yeah, this is the final product. You can kind of still see like the blues here and here and here, and I like the contrast between like the treatment of this versus like the very, I guess, graphic treatment of the background. The textures of this are also so much fun, maybe because I put 2 layers of acrylics and this paper isn't really meant for it. Like, it does hold a lot. Like, this is, yeah, 2 layers of like full acrylic paint pen, which is great. The paper does wrinkle though. For this, I think I'm gonna scan it in and do a bunch of different color edits and stack them and post them on Instagram. So like you could follow me on there or like whatever. So if you like this video, then leave a like. It does help me out. You know, comment and subscribe. I really missed doing this. I'm sorry if I like disappear. I'm like very overwhelmed. Thank you so much for watching this video until the very end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.